When listening to the news every day, we hear about all of the crimes and terrible stories that are involved in the police officers. The media is making the officers seem racist, brutal, and inhumane, and encouraging disrespectful behavior towards our fellow officers. It has changed the views of law enforcement, and is causing more problems throughout our communities. And this problem needs to change if we want to live in safer and happier lives. Throughout my research, I have found many officers speaking on this topic, and a lot of them will say, let the facts come out before you believe any of the news. It has also been proven that communities that get together with their officers are seeing less crime rates and murder rates throughout their community. So let the law enforcement do their job that they are trained to do, and let's put our trust back into these first responders. In America, most people look at police officers as violent and racist individuals, but the police are not the problem. America's large violence is the problem. Rosa Brooks wrote an article on foreignpolicy.com, and she stated, "To some extent, then, the high number of killings by American police isn't a police problem, but a subset of America's large violence problem." Close quote. She also states in her article, in 2014, U.S. residents committed more than 14,000 murders, along with about 1.15 million other violent crimes. Close quote. When you look at the rates of the other countries compared to America, it is clear that America's large violence problem is not for police. So Rosa Brooks also states, compare these figures to rates of gun ownership and violent crime in other countries, and the scales of America's violence problem becomes clear. Close quote. So we need to realize that the police are not the problem, and that it is America's large violence problem. My second point is the news only likes to tell about all the horrible things going on in the world that and they're focusing on police's mistakes, and instead of recognizing them for all the good that they do for our community. Police officers deserve to be treated with respect and recognized for all the good that they do for our country. Blogger Karen Salahome quotes lawyer and founder of Andrew M. Hill's Associates with, "Unfortunately, the bad tend to stand out and make more interesting news with stories. Mistakes and problems tend to be more dramatic, attention-getting, adrenaline-fueling, far more than the calm, peaceful good deeds police officers do every day." Close quote. There are good cops out there, and sadly there are many bad cops out there, but that shouldn't be a reason to bash on our fellow officers and show them disrespect. Karen Salahome also quotes him stating, "There are over 13,000 police officers in Chicago. The fact that a handful of officers have been in the news for misconduct should not taint the other 12,980. One bad apple does not mean they are all bad apples." Close quote. So society forgets that these officers are only human, and that they are risking their lives every day they put that uniform and badge on. And every car they pull over for a simple speeding ticket could be their last. Their job is very scary, and most people can't even put themselves in their shoes because it's so stressful and scary. And we need to remember that these individuals are our heroes and who we call to help when we are in trouble. So a reporter from News One interviewed a New York City police officer, and he said, "It could change everything because you're dealing with life and death. People tend to forget how difficult our jobs are. I'm not justifying any of the past injustices that occurred, but when it's nighttime and people are drunk and belligerent, you're as scared for your life as the person is when he knows you're on his tail. Unfortunately, decisions are made in split seconds because that's how quick your life can be taken." Close quote. My third point is about how if officers are recognized for all their good deeds, and instead of bashing them for their the mistakes they make, and coming together as a community, it could save our community, make it a better place to live in. And so community involvement with law enforcement would lead to a more trusting relationship with the citizens. Police Officer Lieutenant Anthony Zimmerman of Illinois did an interview with firescience.org and stated, "Programs that work in the various cities that have low crime rates are those that involve a high interaction between citizens and the police. A few programs that I personally have experience with that come to mind are Crime Stoppers, Citizen Police Academy, Neighborhood Crime Watch, and Police Ride-Along programs. We have seen real success with these programs in some communities. We need the eyes and ears of the people in the community to help us take a bite out of crime. So change can happen if the community is willing to work with the police to make it happen." Close quote. So working together as a community and reaching out to our fellow officers has been proven to make our environment safer and happier for everyone. On the firescience.org, they reported that since the police of Camden, New Jersey came together with their police officers, changes in violence throughout their community was shown. So Camden found that crime rates across the board fell between 10% and 19%, depending on which quarter data was analyzed. Armed robbery fell alone 51%, and murders fell from 67 in 2012 to half that number in 2013, and that was on their website. And so I'm going to show you a little video about some proof that it has been helping the community.
You will see that where the crime is high, you see neighborhoods that have low involvement with the police department.
The chief says FMPD thwarted plots that would have resulted in 6 serious shootings in 2016. He attributes that to community policing, which residents like Patty Duffy are buying into.
And I saw that happen in Buffalo, and it actually led to a decrease in the number of crimes that we have.
So through posting, with media posting about all these horrible stories about the police officers, instead of encouraging us to respect them, and it is leading to more problems. And instead of bashing on our police officers, we need to reach out to them and actually help our community, because they are the ones we call for 911 when we are in trouble, and we need to show our support to these officers. And together as citizens and police officers, we can make our communities less violent.